Oh, I'm on. Oh, I didn't even see the countdown. Hello. Yes, I am on. Okay, cool. Hello, I'm Bread, and welcome to Gramarye. I'm going to be talking about wearing EGL in cold weather. Winter is on its way. It's November. It's going to be chilly. I know some of us living in warmer climates, or maybe I say us like I live in a warm climate. I do not. Some people that live in warmer climates are going to be maybe going somewhere cold, and people that live in cold climates maybe are wanting to wear their EGL more often in the winter, or they're new to EGL. Whatever your situation is, we're going to talk about how to stay warm, how to stay dry and comfortable. And this panel definitely has a focus on practicality, right? Like, these are our clothes, this is what we wear, and we want to wear them all year in any climate or terrain. So not much focus on OTT, although you can definitely take these principles and add to them, but this is definitely like a, how to do your daily wear in the cold. So whoever's teching me, can you make me small and make my slides big? Thank you. All right, so let's talk about cold. So I have some slides prepared, I have some example coordinates, and then at the end we can do a Q&A, but also feel free to drop questions in the chat and I'll keep an eye on them. All right. So today we're going to talk about a little bit of an intro. I'm just going to credential check myself a little bit. We're going to talk about some considerations. We're going to walk through putting together a coordinate, not necessarily a coordinate, but just all the different components that make up an EGL coordinate, and kind of how to make sure that they're going to keep you warm and dry. Then we're going to show some examples. I did a call out on Instagram for people to send me their winter coordinates, and people sent me a lot, and I unfortunately could not include everybody, but I got some really cool examples. I'm excited to show you all some coordinates. All right, so let's do a little intro. Why is a Californian beach bum like a cold expert now? So hi everybody, I'm Bread. I'm originally from Santa Cruz in California, but I've been living in the Northeast Kingdom of Vermont for 2 years. I've been wearing EGL for 11 years now. Oh, my Instagram. So it's actually so the Bread First search that it says below on my little icon thing. That's my Instagram handle. So bread.first.search. That's my Instagram handle. Vermont is a very cold place. We get snow anytime from October to May, and Vermont's mostly pasture, farmland, and wilderness. Um, so it's cold, it's muddy, and not much is paved. So there's a lot of considerations to take into account there. On the left, there's a picture of me on the ice. I have a chainsaw, and I'm gonna go fishing. And I was trying to harvest some wood for a fire on the ice, which we had like a little barbecue with fire pit in it, and then there's the snowmobile that I was borrowing, or sleds as we call them here. And then on the right, I was wearing like an actual EGL. That's what she says. Vermont, home of bread, syrup, and cheese. That is actually, yeah, that is actually very true. Um, on the right, I was in Quebec City for Valentine's weekend this year, and it was cold, but I wanted to dress it. Yeah, let's keep going. So I want to go over some considerations, kind of like things to keep in mind, both during the panel and during, like actually putting together your coordinates for cold. So I'm kind of anticipating, potentially two different types of people here. So people who are in cold climates that want to wear EGL, either they want to wear it, maybe they're just wearing it in the summer right now, or when it's warmer, more mild, and they want to kind of expand, or they're new to EGL, they want to keep wearing it, keep that momentum going. Or there's people that live in warmer, more mild climates, and they're moving to colder climates, or they're going to vacation somewhere that's really cold, and they want to bring some cute coordinates with them. I realize that my head is blocking part of that caption, but I will just read it to you. So logistics wise, when it's really cold, this is more background for people that are from warmer climates like me. I grew up somewhere where there's no snow, and I have learned all these things. So when it's really cold, it often comes with ice, salt, you get sweaty, might be windy. It might be so cold that there's pain to exposed skin. You may be moving between, really cold outside temperatures and heated buildings. So this really concentrates mostly on daily wear, and all these tips can be adapted to going to, an OTT event, or, to some kind of other event. And the picture here is another Picture of Quebec City in February. It was really cold and snowy, but people were still wearing some stylish fits. So let's talk about more considerations. So cold conditions vary. So everything from like kind of chilly to, downright nasty. And we're gonna kind of talk about that whole range of like anything from like it's a little chilly out to like it's there's a blizzard and it's freezing. So on the left picture, that is a picture of Bern in Switzerland. The last time I was there was in January 2022, and it was a lot warmer than I thought it was going to be. And it was chilly. Like I definitely had to take some precautions because it was I want to say Fahrenheit in the valley in Bern is probably I don't know maybe like 33, 35 degrees Fahrenheit. So like 1 or 2 degrees Celsius approximately. So it was cold. And then on the right, that's a picture of my neighborhood that I live in now. And we get like whiteout conditions, and there were a couple days in January where it was 38 below zero in Fahrenheit. So it was really cold. Yeah, so we have like this really wide range here. And let's talk about some kind of ground rules of, what we want to think about when putting together coordinates. So find places to invest in high quality pieces. So I know that everyone says like, oh, you're building a wardrobe, you have to have investment pieces, da, 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 da. But this is like really actually important for when you need something to work, right? Like this isn't just supposed to be like a beautiful piece. This is supposed to be something that actually keeps you alive, potentially, right? Like you may be in some really nasty conditions. So we'll talk about some places to invest and like what those pieces might be and the types of qualities that you'll want to look for when you're looking at something like that. And so we're adults. We know that safety and comfort does take precedence over adhering to rules. I have a lot of thoughts on the rules of EGL, which maybe that's for another time, but we all have an understanding that sometimes we must break the rules in order to be safe and comfortable and all of those good things. And so dressing for the cold is kind of a personal thing, right? So there's a lot of variables that define or dictate how you're going to feel, right? So like I now live in Vermont. I'll notice that people who are visiting will be really bundled up and I'll be walking around in like a tank top, right? So it's like very personal. If you feel cold, then you're cold and you could, you know, use these tips. And if you're not cold, that's totally cool, right? So don't feel bad about, oh, well, it's actually not that cold outside, but I require all these layers or I still want to bundle up. Like you just be comfortable. It's all about you. And I think this is the last consideration. So onions have layers and Lolitas have layers. So we're really going to be working off the principles of layering for lots of different reasons. One of them being it actually keeps you warmer than one large like really insulating layer, and it's also a lot easier to move between different heated and cooled spaces. So between say outside and getting onto a bus or going into a building or whatever, right? So here's some kind of concepts here that we have with layering. So you start with a base layer. Usually these are things like if you can afford it, you go with silk or merino wool. Those are kind of the like ultimate base layer materials. Those are natural fibers. They really insulate your body. They wick sweat away. They keep you really dry. And they're very they breathe really well. So when you are moving between heated and cooled environments, you are not going to overheat or get very cold. It's like they're kind of magical. An option if you don't want to do silk or merino is Heat Tech from Uniqlo. This is basically just like a big Uniqlo advertisement, like this whole panel. It's just like a giant Uniqlo advertisement. Heat Tech stuff is really nice. I'm not actually sure the composition of the material, of the fibers and how they, what it is exactly. It is synthetic fibers that they use for their heat tech stuff, but they make really great base layers, long sleeve shirts and hats and leggings and all kinds of stuff. So we'll go into specifics as we continue. And so your mid layer. So in an EGL context, it's going to be, kind of coordinate pieces. If you have a cashmere sweater, this is a great place to like throw a cashmere sweater on with a skirt or like under a JSK. Looks super cute, really great, super soft. I'm a huge cashmere fan. We're going to talk a little bit more about natural fibers, especially with your outer layers. So typically wool is the best. It's really water resistant. So if it starts to rain, it's like not a big deal. Like I wouldn't go swimming in it because that will get heavy and you will drown. But it's, if it starts to rain or snow, like it's very protective. Um, so in general, you're going to want to, for your base layer, really as much as you can, if there's something against your skin, you're going to want to try to go for a natural fiber. So things like silk or wool. Wool has a reputation for being really itchy. Um, oh, Repto Jane says cashmere shawls are a godsend, and yes, they are. Like you can do so many things with shawls with every fashion style, especially EGL. And cashmere is so warm and so soft. It's super, super nice. And Uniqlo actually has like a really good cashmere line, which we'll probably talk about a little bit later. So if there's something against your skin, I really, really like would say try to go for something silk, cashmere, or merino, something something soft in a natural fiber. It's really going to help you insulate, so you won't get too hot or too cold. They wick sweat, like it's really, really nice. So this is actually a really good place to start to spend a little bit more money if you can on a very good or like high quality piece. Is going to be starting with the base layers. Um, yeah, so this is kind of this concept that we're going to be going with is layers, layers, layers. We can get Steve Ballmer sweaty about it, and we'll get excited. Components. So let's talk about walking through like building a coordinate. We're not going to be, building a specific coordinate, but it's just kind of like, each part. We're going to talk about it. So we're starting at the bottom and kind of moving up. So there's a saying that I've learned here in Vermont, and it's to invest in things that go between you and the ground. So your mattress, your tires, your footwear. And here we're talking about footwear. So if it's icy, oh man, hang on. I'm sorry. My laptop is doing something funny. Um, there we go. Okay. There. Okay, cool. So if it's icy, you're generally going to want to avoid a heel. So a short block heel can work. Like the heel in the boots here pictured are generally fine, right? Like you just don't want anything that's going to make you unstable. If it's icy, your footing may already be a little bit unstable anyway, so you don't necessarily want to add to that. Um, oh, thank you, mods. Thank you very much for that. So you're going to opt for something with good traction. So you can look at the bottom of your shoe, look at the sole, and look at the patterning on that. This is really important if it's icy. Again, your footing may be a little bit precarious, maybe a little slippery wherever you are. This could prevent some serious falls and injuries. And if you're wearing leather footwear, you're going to want to clean and condition it to protect it from salt. So a lot of cities or towns or wherever you're at, they salt sidewalks and roads when it's icy or snowy to kind of keep that at a lower level, right? It kind of melts the ice and it makes it a lot safer. But so if you're wearing leather, you're going to want to clean those. Let's see. I will never forget slipping on ice and heat up and dumping an entire avocado bubble tea onto one shoe. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Oh no. Okay. Yeah. See. So I was cleaning avocado crust from the shoe bows for weeks. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Things happen, right? Like things sometimes just happen. But if you can, especially if you live somewhere really cold, these are, definitely spend time like getting some really good footwear. And we'll talk about some examples of what those are. So if it's snowy or wet, you're definitely going to want like a closed-toed shoe, preferably a boot to keep your feet dry. So if you don't live somewhere snowy, you haven't spent a lot of time in snow, if you have to like walk through a little snowbank or the snow gets to a certain height, it'll just fall down your boot. So that's why a lot of boots are knee high, so that way snow doesn't fall into your boot. It gets cold and it's not the best. So if you know you're going to be maybe potentially trudging through snow, go for something a little bit higher. And if you're going somewhere that is very fancy or maybe OTT, you can always wear very practical boots and then swap to a nice shoe when you get to your destination. You bring a cute little tote bag, put your boots in there. A lot of places, if you're going to be in a very cold climate, a lot of places, like my doctor's office even has this. You get into the office and there's a like rubber rack and you put your boots there and you put slippers on. Like they'll have slippers available for people in the office. And so, you can either put your boots in your tote bag, or if the place that you're going has a rack, throw your boots there, throw your cute shoes on, and off you go. So my personal rule is I only wear real shoes once it's frosty. So by real shoes, I mean like I don't really wear like brand heels or brand shoes. So like as much as I love like the Cabriole ribbon shoes from Alice and the Pirates, like those go away when it gets frosty. I just don't want to risk falling, it's not fun, it sucks, and you want to be warm and you don't want to think about like what happens if I'm driving and I go like this is like a legit concern here in Vermont. Like this happens to me at least once a winter approximately. Is like I'll go off a road and I'll have to dig myself out or someone will have to come yank me out of the ditch or whatever, right? Like you just don't want to put yourself into a potentially perilous situation. So it is always better to be safe. The cold is actually like a safety concern. So please, please, please be safe. That is my biggest advice is please be safe. So here's some examples of some footwear. So two of these, the right and the middle are actually from American Duchess. Um, so there's these like fur-lined winter boots, which I think are super cute. And then in the middle, there are, I think these are the bicycle boots. I don't know. I love these. I don't actually own any of these. Well, I own the ones on the left, but I'll get there in a sec. I love the bicycle boots in the middle. I keep looking at them and then just not buying them for whatever reason. But you know, something like this, like the shoe itself is probably not particularly warm, but you wear some socks, get your feet nice and warm, you're pretty good to go. And they have a nice low heel. The ones on the left are actually my winter daily driver for EGL and EGA stuff. These are a knee-high Doc Martin, keeps the snow out of my feet or like out of my boots, off my feet. They're moderately warm. They're actual leather. I just clean and condition them if I, go through a salty patch or whatever every week or so. I'll do a little clean and conditioning with them, and they're really nice. And they have great traction. So I do not own the middle or the right shoes, but the Doc Martens have really good traction. So I feel very comfortable navigating like potentially icy situations with them. Oh, okay. So Repto Jane says she owns the bicycle boots, but are made out of fabric, so they'll need to be treated with a spray to keep them nice. Yeah, that is a really good point. So there's a bunch of different footwear care materials that you can get online. If you like to wear suede boots or whatever. So, for example, if you're an UGG girly, you can waterproof those, right? Like, so it sounds like you can do a similar thing with these, which is a really good tip. Thank you. So let's talk about leg wear. So brand socks are actually pretty decent in like mild or like, fairly cold conditions. They're pretty thick, and they're actually fairly warm. When it gets really nasty, you're gonna want to start layering, but they're, you know, I definitely have been in the experience where it's like 60 degrees and I'm wearing brand socks and I'm like my legs are hot. This kind of sucks. So they're actually a pretty good tool to start with. My big tip is dance tights. So you can either layer them under under the knee socks or over the knee socks, layer under other tights. Oh, someone asks, do the knee-high docs allow for mobility and articulation at the ankle? Um, Actually, here, I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna put them on and I'm gonna tell you. I do ballet, so I move my ankles around a lot, so I will tell you I will tell you if they do. I wanna say they have a decent amount of stability, and so they're not particularly mobile, but I wouldn't say they're, like, restrictive. Let me try them on real quick. Whoops, I knocked one of my dresses over. Okay, so I've got these here. These are my knee-high dogs. Okay, I wish I could, like, put the camera down onto my feet, but I don't wanna mess with my setup. And these knee-high dogs do have a zipper. Like not to sell anyone on these boots in particular, but it is really nice to have a zippered boot. Because I don't want to mess around with lacing up a knee-high boot every time I need to do something. Okay, so yes, okay, they actually have a decent amount of flexibility. Okay, let me just like put my leggy up. Oops, wait, that was too far out of frame. Leggy up. So they have a decent amount of flexibility, and if you don't really tighten down the laces here, then you can actually maintain good amount of flexibility. Now I know. Yeah, we do a little boot demo. Yeah, of course. I have a lot of thoughts about shoes and footwear and stuff, so I'm like seriously always around for like questions or whatever if anyone wants to talk about shoes. Where was I? Dance tights. Yes. So dance tights are cool because you can get them in, black, white, and like a really large range of skin tones. What was I gonna say about dance tights? Yes, they're really good for layering. Excuse me. So you can layer them under socks, you can layer them under other tights, you can layer them under all kinds of stuff. So like even for example, if you want to wear like I don't know, so you have like a white pair of tights, and you're like, well, it's too cold for these, but just dance tights, and then wear the tights over those. I've been seeing a bunch of advertisements for there's like fleece lined. Oh yeah, someone says it does take a lot of breaking to get to the mobility and docks, and that is true because they're leather. For what it's worth, I've probably worn these. I don't know, I want to say like 5 times. So like, I don't know. It's not like you have to really. I don't know. It felt pretty quick. Yeah. So yeah, so I've been seeing a bunch of advertisements on Tumblr for these like fleece lined tights that look like pantyhose, that look like, like you're wearing sheer pantyhose, but they're like fleece lined. And you can buy those on AliExpress for $7. Like, don't buy the $25 ones off of the Tumblr advertisements. Just they're on AliExpress. They're a lot cheaper. Still a fan of dance tights because you can actually get something that is very close to your skin tone and then do something over that. Um, yeah, Float Away Lily says that layering tights can take some finagling sometimes, which is true. So my like weird little tip for that is just like whatever your base layer is. So like if you're wearing dance tights or pantyhose or whatever, put the footed layer on first. So like if you're gonna be layering socks even, and then like leggings or something, just like put the footed one on first, and then then you can pull your legs through a lot easier because it's like otherwise you have to like go under the layer and then like pull it through, and it's a whole pain in the ass. But like footy layer first, and then everything else on top. Um, yeah, if it's really cold and you're wearing boots, wool socks. There are some really great merino wool socks out there. I'm a big fan of Darn Tough. Oops, I just knocked something over. They're a Vermont brand. They make like really cool like hiking socks and stuff. And if you're wearing boots, like tall boots, no one's gonna see them. But they're made of merino wool and they keep your feet nice and warm. I'm a big fan. Oh yeah, thermal or fleece line leggings. So leggings, a really good option is the Heat Tech ones from Uniqlo. There's fleece lined ones are actually fairly common. Fleece lined tights are actually fairly common. Ooh, alpaca. Yes, alpaca is another really soft material. I have some alpaca yarn actually that I've been working with. It's super soft. I find that one's a little harder. It's a little more scarce, or like I don't see it as often. But if you see alpaca, it is a very good choice. It's very soft and it's beautiful. It's really, really gorgeous. Um, yeah. So my little hot tips for layering. We talked about the innermost layer being the like footed layer. And then you get your warm layers on, and then maybe you can add some cute brand socks over that, or like your patterned tights, or whatever you want to do. Get your warm stuff on, then bring your cute stuff out. Let's see. Let's talk about some examples. So on the left we have an example from Darn Tough. Those are like a crew cut socks, so it's not like you'd have to be wearing taller boots to wear these, but they are actually very warm and they're very nice. I wear those when I go camping in the fall and winter, and they keep my feet nice and warm. And then to the right of that, we have these Capezio dance tights, which I wear these. I have so many pairs of these because I wear these to ballet. I wear these when I go skating. I wear these under dresses, like for funsies. I wear these all the time. I love them. They're kind of the best. And then to the right of that, we have the Heat Tech extra warm leggings. This is a really good option if you don't want to go, full like smart wool or silk or whatever. So these are, $25. They last a super long time. Sorry, I need to put my laptop on do not disturb because I'm getting text messages. There we go. Yes, these are good options. The first pair I bought in like 2014, and I still have them. Like, and I've put quite a bit of wear on them, and they're still working totally fine. So like these actually are quite long lasting. And then like there's a fancy option at the far right, and it's like a smart wool merino base layer, and these are for like people who are out hiking or backpacking or whatever in very cold conditions. They're nice, but you definitely don't need them. Oh, so let's see. Someone says, I do think there's a longevity problem with synthetic fleece lined leggings. The fleece washes out, and oh, I didn't know that. I actually don't wear a lot of fleece lined stuff because I just layer stuff that I don't know. I'm just a layer girly. So I don't know. I haven't had to deal with the fleece line stuff. So that is actually really interesting consideration. I had not thought of that, and I didn't know that. Snag tights come in various weights. Yes. Yeah. Those are that I've heard really good things about that particular brand. Um, yes, and then whoever's on the Barry K account says, "Darn tough." They're really good. They make some that have like padding in the feet. So if you're wearing, oh hi Emma, so if you're wearing like boots that you're still breaking in, they protect your feet. They're like really, really, really good. Like they're pricey. Like you can see here, this pair of socks is $23, but like they literally have a lifetime warranty. They're really good and they're very comfortable. So let's talk about the upper leggy. So petticoats actually tend to retain heat pretty well. So in a lot of cases, like if you're wearing like a like a skirt, a petticoat, and like OTK socks or something, your thighs are probably going to stay pretty warm. In mild to chilly conditions. Now, if you tend to get really cold, of course, you may have leggings on. And if you need a little extra layer, add some bloomers or shorts if your like butt or thighs tend to get cold. Long bloomers are really cute. I love a long bloomer peeking out of a skirt. Um, yeah, so again, like layer, right? So if it's really cold and you know that the wind is gonna go right through you, wear your leggings, wear your tights, then add some bloomers, or some shorts or whatever you gotta do. Stay nice and warm. Ooh, flannel bloomers. Oh my god, I don't have any. That sounds so cozy. Okay, well, if you release if you release flannel bloomers, let me know because I want some. Um, Longer skirts do tend to add more coverage. This is I would not say to like if you are like a knee length or short skirt person, um, don't you don't necessarily have to like adapt that, right? Like you don't have to change that. I'm always like a T length and longer skirt person. So that just happens to work well for me in the winter. But if you like to be very cozy, a long skirt is very cozy and it's very nice. Yeah, let's talk about blouses. So again, we're gonna be layering. So let's start with like a long sleeve thermal base layer. Uniqlo Heat Tech is another good one. There's tons of options though for like thermal base layers. This is always a fun time to pull out like a pullover sweater, like a knit cutso with your JSKs. Or even like a normie pullover again. Cashmere sweater is awesome. Really, really good. Like cashmere sweaters are a little expensive. There's like the Uniqlo cashmere sweater, I think is like $120 or something, but like people were saying in the chat, natural fibers last a super long time. They're really durable. They're super comfortable, super soft. Like I'm a huge fan. Like if you have a little extra cash to spend on something that's going to last you a long time and look really good for a very long time, then like definitely go for a little cashmere sweater. You can go, either like a pullover, cardigan, however you want to do it. Oh yeah, layering a plain shirt under your blouse. You don't have to wash the blouse as often. Yeah, no, that's actually a really good one. So like I do that all the time anyway, actually. So like even in the summer, I'll put like a little like a tank top under like a JSK or like my OP or whatever. Like whatever it is that I'm wearing on top, I throw a little tank top on under it, even in the summer. And I like the protection between like my skin and the garment. Um if you have a sheer long sleeve blouse, so say like I don't know, I think like a popular example might be the like Hey Newly ID Declare mesh blouse. Like you could totally still wear like a long sleeve layer under that, right? So like if you have the black one, for example, like wear like a black long sleeve layer under. Like that looks super cool. Love doing that stuff. Um there's so many options with layering and yeah, this is like a really cool opportunity to layer and have fun when it's cold. The cold doesn't have to be like a oh no I have to do all these things, like it might be sometimes, but it's also like fun time to break out the layers and the velvet and the cashmere and all that other stuff. So here are some examples. Apparently I was feeling pink and cream and red. So on the left there's this really cute pullover from Baby. I think this is on Lilyberry, and I love those sleeves so much. It's so good. I love that. There's some cut sews from AP. In the middle, like smack in the middle, there's a blouse from Shiglet. I think that's Shiglet. Yeah. Um, love it. There's other cut sews and such on the right. Cut sews are great. Good for layering, and they're cozy. Or just wear blouses and layer if you're cold. The possibilities are endless, really. Yeah, let's talk about JSKs and OPs. So you can actually still do like JSKs and short sleeve. shirts, short sleeve OPs when it's cold. You could just layer them. So there's this like beautiful velvet one from NA plus H here. It's I've never touched it in person, but it's beautiful and it's I imagine it's heavy because it's like velvet. Um, but if it's if it's real chilly out, throw some layers on under there, right? Like throw your Uniqlo Heat Tech long sleeve under there. Do whatever you gotta do. So cold is like a really good opportunity for wearing some heavier materials like jacquard or velveteen. Things that like you see them and you're like, this is beautiful, but it's 100 degrees outside. I can't wear this, right? So this is time to bust it out. Let it free and let it go free. And if you want to like add some extra decoration, add like a bodice or a bustier, or like a corset or a vest, something, right? So you get some of those nice layers and be warm and cozy, and then you still have all this nice decoration going on the outside. So here's some examples. These are just long sleeve OPs that are fun. You can really kind of go wild and do whatever you want, really. Especially if you're wearing a JSK and you have a blouse on under it, or right, then you under the blouse you've got long sleeve. Possibilities are endless. So let's talk about headwear. So there's some fun seasonal options that we can do here. So berets, which I've got on right now. Do a full size hat. You can do some earmuffs. If the cold hurts your ears, or if it's like really cold and you need to like really like bundle up for realsies, wear like a nice beanie. Again, natural fibers, great idea. Um, love a cashmere beanie. Wrap your head up in a scarf or a shawl. Wear like an ear cover, which is like a headband kind of, but it like kind of just goes around your ears. Ear muffs. They're not just because they're cute. Like the cold and the wind and stuff can actually hurt your ears and make them hurt quite badly. So take that precaution if that's something that happens to you. I noticed this year actually that it used to not happen to me, and this year, when I've been out on the ice skating, my ears just start hurting really badly. So I started to actually protect them this year. Yeah, the wind gives me an earache too. It's just like it didn't used to happen to me. Now it does. So get some cute earmuffs or like a little ear cover, like pull a beanie down. Again, natural fibers are going to be your buddy here. So here's some fun examples. So there's some like heavy, right in the middle, there's like a heavy velvet headdress from Antique Beast. There's some fun hats. There's the bear ears on the left from Summer Tales. There's some berets. There's some earmuffs. There's like a fuzzy headdress from Meta that has the like fawn colored fur with the berries on it. Yes, we love the AP hat. It's like I don't know what it's giving, but I love it and I kind of want it. Like if I ever see that, I'm totally getting it. It's really fun. So let's talk about outerwear. This is, the time to wear a coat and a jacket if you're that type of person that likes to wear some outerwear. So this is a good time to like invest in an EGL coat or jacket. So EGL coats and jackets are usually a blend of different materials. I've never found one that's pure natural fibers. It's usually a blend. Sometimes it's pure synthetic. So they're not actually that warm, but they are good for layering. They're good for protection from snow or rain. And it's something that is like a unifying layer over your petticoat, right? Because if you're getting like a full length coat, it's going to go over your whole coordinate. It's got room for your petticoat, and you're all set. So there are some really cute ones out there, especially right now. It's the season that they're being released and sold. They're actually very affordable secondhand. So like most of my outerwear I've gotten secondhand and it's been well under $100. So the coat pictured here is one that I own and I can actually show it at the end if y'all want me to. I paid full price for that, but that's like the only thing I've ever paid full price for in terms of EGL outerwear. And this is like another good place to, if you can, invest in natural fibers. So if Shiglet made like a full wool coat, I would like pay max more prices for it. Like I would pay $1,000 for a Shiglet wool coat. Do not at me. I wish they would do it because it would be very great and warm. I'd love it. There's some full length coats. There's some shorter cropped jackets. There's the cape-ish jacket thing from Boz on the top right. Boz usually uses suiting that looks like some of their suiting, so it's not going to be a particularly warm piece, but it's great for kind of a chilly day. Great for hiding some layers under it. I love the Shiglet one right under it, which is or no, sorry, that's a Atelier Pierrot one, and it's got like it's like a little crop jacket with a capelet over it, and like the fur trimmed collar and sleeves, which I love. Yeah, so there's some outerwear. Um, Outerwear part two is cloaks and capelets. So this is like a really good final layer. Like you can wear this over a coat, right? Like this is like the final layer. There's tons of room for layering underneath because they're so roomy and so cozy. You can have them made from knit or velveteen or like synthetic materials or wool. There's tons of variety here. Yeah, I'm a big fan of capes, cloaks and capelets. Now, boleros and cardigans. So these are kind of like the, you can wear them under anything, or if it's not particularly cold, that can be your outermost layer. Tons of options across different substyles and price points. Really good for layering under heavy pieces, or as your like final layer if it's not particularly cold out. Both again are really affordable secondhand. And if you find like a nice cardigan that goes well with like your silhouette, that's like you can go into normie stuff too, right? So like this is again another good opportunity to look for something made of natural fibers. EGL brands don't usually make natural fiber outerwear. But if you find like a little cardigan from a normie brand or wherever that's made of a natural fiber, this is a great place to wear it. So here's some examples. There's this beautiful velvet Victorian maiden cloak on the left, which I showed in my last panel. I can show that again if anyone wants to see it. It's this really beautiful heavy cloak. And there's some boleros and cardigans and all that good stuff. Just good layering. Accessories. These aren't like necessarily gonna keep you super warm, or like they're kind of like the cherry on top, right? So like you definitely need gloves if it's really cold. Otherwise your fingers are gonna hurt and maybe get frostbite. So don't do that. So like the warmest thing, like the like nuclear options, like a shearling mitten, and this is like frostbite territory, right? So this is like what I wear to go on the ice to fish, right? So it's like I'm in this, on this frozen lake with exposed conditions and it's windy and I just, right, like it needs to be very practical. So that's kind of like the warmest you're going to get. If you need something like that, go to an outdoor store or like an outdoor supplier. They're going to have something like that. They're usually not terribly expensive, usually under $50 for like a good mitten. For Oh yes, it is a Chris scarf. I actually have here. Let me go grab it. I own this one because I thought it was so cute that I could not purchase it. Here it is. It's a little Chris. He's got so you wrap him around your neck and then you can like that, but it's got this like clip under here so you can like clip this part to there we go. You can clip it to the part that you're placing under it. That way it's all secure. It's very cute. I love him very much. I have yet to actually wear it, but I love it. So I just like looking at him. So for like EGL, if I'm dressed up, like I really like a touchscreen leather glove. Nordstrom has a pair from their like Nordstrom Basics line or whatever. That's my daily driver for if I'm dressing up. I think I paid $90 for them, and they're like really good. They're real leather. They're like you can totally use your phone with them on. They're actually very good. They're quite warm. If it's really, really cold and windy, so if you're somewhere like Vermont, the wind will go right through them, right? The wind will go through anything that is not like a shearling mitten. So just like, but for everything that is not like approaching 0 degrees Fahrenheit and or very windy, you're gonna be fine. So knit gloves are really fun too. So when I figure skate, I wear a little cashmere glove from Uniqlo. Told you, just like a big Uniqlo advertisement. I love them. I think I paid $40 for them or something. I don't know. They have them out right now. It's very out there. They're not going to protect you from the wind, but it is a very nice little like protective layer over everything. And they're very soft. And I love them. And like trimmed gloves with like the faux fur along the cuffs. Those are really fun. Those are actually really easy to find at like Marshalls or TJ Maxx. Like there's a ton of them out right now. And they're usually like $15, right? So that's not going to protect you from like, really, really cold temperatures. But like if it's cold and not extremely cold, then you're gonna be fine. And scarves and tippets. So again, cashmere. So you can get a nice cashmere scarf. Those are kind of the best thing ever. You can use them to keep your neck warm. You can wrap them around your head. You can wrap them around your ears. Like, I recommend having one. It is a really, really helpful tool to have. You can also get like, a fun little mascot scarf like Chris. And there's like furry tippets as well, which are like kind of like fur collars, I suppose. And those don't necessarily keep you warm, but they're really cute and they look great. Yeah, so here's some examples. So there's a tippet on the left-hand side from Victorian Maiden. It's kind of just like a little fur collar. It's got a nice big bow on it. There's some fun gloves. I had never seen these AP like ankle things before. I kind of love them. I don't really think they'd keep you warm, but they're really cute. And then yeah, so there's a couple scarves from I think yeah the white one's from AP and the black one's from Baby, and it looks like it's the same material as this beret that I have on. I don't know if you can see that, but it's got like these pearls sewn into it, like fake plastic pearls. And I kind of want it because I think it would go with this beret. And I haven't, it looks like it's something recent, but I haven't seen it for sale. Anyway, I'm so kind of obsessed with those AP like ankle warmer things. They're really fun and I love them. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about some examples. So I got so many examples from people, so thank you very much to all of you for sending these in. I'm gonna kind of talk about just what makes these things fun and good. And if I didn't include your coordinate, I'm sorry. I literally didn't even look at them all. I couldn't look at them all. There's so many. Yeah. So thank you very much for sending these in. Let's look at some of these. So on the left, we have this cozy coordinate. Two of these are from people in the Vermont community, actually. So hello. So this is from Melissa, who's here in the Vermont community. She's got like this really cozy capelet on and a long sleeve blouse. I don't know if that's an OP or a JSK, but like she's cozy, she's layered. I see boots, I see socks, like I see lots of protection going on. I see earmuffs and the really cute Kumya bag. Love it. And then the one to the right of that, another coat, super layered up. I love seeing all these layers. I love the like unifying cream over all the color of like the lavender print. That's super fun. And then Savannah's coordinate to the right of that, she's got on like these really cute pink boots with like the fur pom-poms, and I love the like cropped pink jacket with the sacks. I can't tell if that's a skirt or a JSK, but love it. And then to the right of that is Jessica's coordinate. She went to Boston a couple years ago, and she's got like this nice coat on, which looks super cozy, and then like lots of layers. We love layers, and it just looks like such a comfy and practical coordinate. That's very similar to what I look like on a winter's day here, if I'm going to be dressing up, and it looks really good. So House Haunter has this beautiful coat and the boots, and I see layered socks, and I see fur collar. I see like I think that's like a fawn fur colored collar. I love the capelet with the coat. Like I'm such a sucker for like a coat and a capelet. That's such a vibe. And then the one to the right of that, I see looks like some patterned brand socks with some shorter shoes. And I see some layers around the arms and lots of flouncy chiffon going on with the skirt, which is super fun. And then the two to the right of that are from the same person. And let me see. It's hard to see the right one all the way, but I see lots of coverage. It looks really cozy. And I love the cream colored one, because there's like kind of like that like nice unification from the coat and like the cute little Kumya backpack or the rucksack. Yeah. And these are all from Interstellar Moment, which I just honestly want to take her entire wardrobe because it's so good. I love a plaid all year. I for my own personal wardrobe, the thing I would steal most from this is the like velvet cardigan thing. I love whatever's going on there. It's so good. Oh yeah, Argus says I can't wait to crack out my velvet OP this winter. Yeah. Oh my god. I like velvet is so fun and it's so hard to wear a lot of the year. So as soon as it gets chilly, if you're not living in the Northeast, it's been like oddly weeks. Um, I was actually in Canada last night, and I was sitting outside dining, and it was nighttime, and I was sitting in a crop top and sandals, and I'm like, "I'm in Canada, it's November, this is a little messed up." Anyway, we're all very excited to wear our velvet. So I love these coordinates from Interstellar Moment. She's got all this really fun use of pattern and color, and I see tons of layering, and it looks so cozy and so good and so practical. Like, that is something that is so nice, about winter is that, like, you get to add all these, like, practicality elements, and it's really fun. So I love 2 floral patterns together. So I see some grandma's couch going on with a jacket on the far left, and then some I think that's I forget the name of that print. I know the name of that print, I have forgotten it. And then I see some, like, nice warm brand socks. I think those are the ones from Alice and the Pirates. But I love, like, matching or not, but, like, mixing different floral patterns. It's super fun. I love it. And the one to the right of that, there's like some nice grounding with the black jacket and the black blouse, and then there's a nice floral skirt, and I see printed brand socks, which I love. And then to the right, these are both from Milk Femme. And I love, for some reason, I love seeing sweet in the winter. I don't know why. It's just really fun. Just like all the layers and all the like faux fur, whatever else is going on. It's really fun. So I see like boots and socks, and I love it. I love it. So good. Let's see. Okay, we do have a little bit of time. How many slides do I have left? Oh my god, I have so many. Okay, I may have to go through these faster so we can have time for questions at the end. Um, so I'm just gonna like let these exist here, and then like we can just talk about them in chat. Like if you want to make remarks about the coordinates, we can just talk a little bit about them. I don't for the purposes of time, I don't need to review, or I don't have the time to review each one. Or not review it. Like I'm not trying to judge each one, but just, highlight it necessarily. Yes, the fuzzy pink scarf is so fun. Okay, I'm gonna go to the next slide. I I remember talking with Nafalia K about this coordinate because we were talking about like if they made like silk, like silk lined wool Lolita coats, like that would be the best thing ever. And Nafalia lives in Sweden, and it gets really cold there. I've never been to Sweden, but imagine it's really really cold there. My judgment is I love all of these, honestly. Oh, Avena. Avena's like the layering, like the deity of layering, and I love that. Like, if anyone needs like layering inspo, just go look at Avena's Instagram because that's like the best stuff ever. So Marianne Emanuel has this really pretty, oh my god, what are they called? Not stoles. The thing you put your hands in. I forget what they're called, but I don't see those all that often, and I love them. Muff, yes, that's what they are. I want one really bad, and yeah, I just want one really bad. And so I love seeing when people coordinate them. Here's some coordinates here. Fun fact about Gia's coordinate on the left is that I used to own that dress and then I sold it to her. So I love seeing it coordinated. Like I love seeing it have a new life with somebody else and be worn. That got auto blocked last time by Discord. Oh no, I'm sorry. Oh my god. I feel like that is like a fraud exercise of like, hey, someone please tell me the name of something that may be blocked by the automod. Anyway, I love the length of Yumi's coordinate, like this nice long coat. It just looks so whimsical. I love it. It's so good. So Rebecca's coordinate on the left. So she's originally from Maine and she lives in Orange County now, I believe. But she's originally from Maine. And so she talks about here how like, if you live in the Northeast, like you don't really wear a coat until January. And it's just kind of like I think she's wearing, let me get closer. It looks like a JSK with like a long sleeve blouse. So that's a great example of if you're living somewhere cold, like you kind of get used to it, and even if it's snowy, like it is there in that scene, like you may not actually feel cold if you're used to it and have been living there. Oh yeah, so Rebecca's tattooing in San Jose right now. So she's actually tattooing at the studio of my friend. So my friend Crystal works at a studio, and she is guesting at the studio. And I didn't know that they knew each other. That makes me so happy. I'm so excited. Yeah, just a fun little tidbit. So here's some more. I love I think that's a bonnet on the one on the far left. I almost called it a hood, but like, no, it's definitely a bonnet. Um, I just love all these layers. It makes me so happy. It's so nice. Like, it's almost freeing in a way to get to wear EGL in the winter because there's so many fun things that I want to stack on top of each other, but it is just like impossibly impossibly uncomfortable if it's not really really cold. So I love all the layers. Yeah, that is a good point. So, yeah, as a layered style, Lolita is just like very practical in the winter. The first time I wore EGL somewhere where it was really cold, I was like, wow, this is like so freeing. I can wear all these things that I want to wear at the same time. And it's really nice. It is such a freeing feeling. Is this okay? There's a couple slides left. Okay. I think I did I include that one twice? Anyway, well, you get to see it twice. That is all good. Here's more. Here's more. These are all from Erica. These are all from the same person. So I love all these different like interpretations of it's chilly and I want to be warm. I love these. I love that long red coat in the middle. That is so fun. It's like this really nice, like almost understated deep red, which is really nice. Oh, there we go. That's the last slide. So um yeah, let's do some Q&A. And I am more than happy to so my last panel after the slides were concluded, I showed some pieces from my wardrobe that were relevant to the topic. So if anyone wants to like see anything in particular, I can pull it out. We can look at some details. Otherwise, yeah, like feel free to just Q&A. We can just talk about layers and being cozy and whatever else. Or if you want like a demonstration of anything else, like I've got a lot of outerwear at this point because it's cold here. So, how many dresses can I stack upon myself? Oh, we did a meetup. Oh my god, it must have been like 5 years ago, where we just wore as many dresses as we could. Um, I don't actually know. I don't remember. How do brand umbrellas hold up with actual use? Yeah, so it was that meetup. How do brand umbrellas hold up with actual use in the rain and snow? I don't know. I've never actually tried it. I imagine in snow they're fine, unless it's particularly windy. I I know this is like a weird thing to say. So I used to only use my parasols for sun protection because I was living in California. And I don't think I've pulled out a parasol since I moved here. Not that I haven't needed one. It's mostly been like, I don't know. I don't know. That's a great question. um, layering skirts is definitely what I keep warm. Yes, it is. Yeah, it totally is. With pet, so like one of the great things about not all parasols are weatherproof, so check beforehand. Yes, that is a really good point. Oh my god, interesting. I did not know that a parasol with a print might not like might get damaged if it's stored dry. Okay, that is good to know. Yeah, I have yet to actually use one in anything more than like moderate rain. I've never actually tried to use one in like a rainstorm or like a snowstorm. Yeah. Oh yeah, layering skirts. Skirts, like the great thing about Lolita is that petticoats retain a ton of heat. So sucks in the summer, but in the winter it's like really nice and cozy. Oh no. That's interesting. I didn't think about that. I'm sorry. That sounds like it was really cute and then it got smudged. Yes, if you're in a snowstorm, please go inside. Unless you're like walking to the bus and you can't until the bus gets there or, whatever that situation is, but please stay warm. Yeah, a lot of so I've never lived in a city that gets snow. I've just lived in, this rural wilderness area that I live in now that gets snow. So I imagine that if you live in a really cold or snowy city, that there's probably different precautions that you have to take. Maybe get like a good umbrella, like one that's actually like rated for weather. Road salt is a bear. Yeah. So I mentioned that with the leather footwear. So if you're wearing leather footwear and you know that the city you are in is salting, which if you're in a city, they're probably salting. They salt here where I live, out in the country. Definitely clean your footwear afterwards. Otherwise, that can kind of damage the leather. That'll also damage your car too. So if you're not familiar with the things that salt does to other objects, it'll rust your car, gets real nasty. It's kind of a thing in the Northeast that like you buy cars from down south because they're not rusty. It will ruin your body. I always joke. My partner like made a quip one time that he's like, "Well, people in Vermont don't age very well," and I was like, "Babe, it's like the road salt. The road salt is why people here don't age well." That's my like very bad joke that I have. Um, like salt preserves some things and it ruins others, so go figure. Oh, that's an interesting point. So the comment says, "I bike commute year round, often in Lolita. They can deal with snow any day, but road salt, yeah, it makes it really slushy. So like if you for those that have not experienced this, it makes ice and snow really like a slurpy consistency and it gets really wet and it's kind of gross. And like yes, you might be less prone to slipping or whatever if it like melts the ice. Or if you're driving, it makes the road less slippery. But if you're walking, it's just really sludgy. So waterproof footwear is going to be really important. Then cleaning your footwear after, really important. Um, leather care is actually a good thing to understand in general for like fashion in general, right? Like regardless if it's handbags or footwear or like the interior of your car. If you're interested in getting more into like fashion in general, regardless of whether that's EGL or kind of more broadly, um, yeah, definitely understanding how to care for different materials is super important. Oh, that's really smart. You know what? I feel like so I wish brands made rain boots because I feel like that would be really practical if they were like really cute, like brand rain boots because like you can lay your socks under them, keep your feet nice and warm, but then also have like that protection. Yeah, dirty, salty puddles suck. They're kind of gross. Well, they're very gross. Yeah, so there is stuff that you can use to waterproof your shoes. So usually those are used for porous materials, say something like suede or fabric. If you want something like really, really waterproof, you're gonna have to go with something that has like I think it's called insulated seams where they like bond the seams together so that way those are completely waterproof. So something like those Doc Martens I was showing earlier are not waterproof in that capacity because if you were to like put your foot in a lake, your foot would then get wet, right? But for like trudging through snow, it's usually fine. But if you're walking through slushy snow or ice or whatever, rain boots are actually like a pretty good option in that regard. Um, I think AP may have done brand rain boots, Barry K says, but I'm not sure. Rubber overshoes. Oh, yes. I've actually never worn those myself, but I've heard of those. And that might be a good thing to look at. That would protect your shoes, from the salt and the water, but also keep your feet warm and dry. I just want to see like Alice and the Pirates rain boots. Like, please give me with like little crisp paw prints on the soles. Like, then I can like that's what I want. Yeah, wouldn't that be cute if it was like a Captain Chris shaped like paw print on the sole? So like when you walk through snow, you leave like little paw prints. That would be. You can have that idea for free. Like, I just really want to buy that. Yeah, Alice and the Pirates, listen, we have ideas here. Or like brand shoe covers. I feel like that would be really fun. I like something I've observed that brands are doing in general, and I know we're short on time. I've observed them making things, especially brands like Innocent World, adapting things for like us as adults. Like we're big kids now and we have jobs and we have, different responsibilities than we had when we were like 16 or whatever. And so like the clothes have, expanded sizing or, different shirring or, whatever. But I think we can take it a little further than clothes now. We can go into like brand galoshes and like really good, like quality umbrellas. Like I will pay for these. Tell Connie to tell Pierre to give us rain boots. Yeah. I feel like there's a chat stream coming up soon. So we can talk to Connie and be like, please, Connie, give the people what we crave. And that's brand rain boots. Okay, it is 2:30 Eastern, and that means oh, sturdy but long sorry, I yeah, sorry, you were so correct. I would love like I said, I would pay Max Mara prices for a like a full wool, like a fully natural fiber coat that could, like, contain a petticoat. Um, I would also pay a lot for, like, an actual sturdy brand handbag, like, if it was real leather or, like, an actual, like, genuinely high quality material. I will pay a lot for that. Um, yeah, Iris Garden does make really good, like, leather bags. Iris Garden released a leather heart-shaped bag recently. It comes in red and it comes in black, and I think the hardware is gold. It's really cute. She made a mini one and, like, a bigger one. Um, I see it I usually see some hanging around at our in-person events, so if you're gonna be at pop-up, next month, come through. Iris is gonna be there, and there may be some of those leather bags. I'm not like a heart-shaped bag girly, so I didn't pick one out myself, but I'm kinda regretting not doing that because I want I want, like, cute Lolita leather goods. Oh, the big one is not oh, just the little one's leather, okay. Oh, that's a good call out about swing coats being yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay. Also, like, we can, like, commission these things, right? Like, it is possible to find a tailor at our next paneled event about, like, things we we wish brands would do that are, like, a little upgraded from what they do now, because 'cause we're all adults and we want nice things. Um, anyway, thank you for coming. I am really glad that everyone came and had a good time, or I hope you've had a good time. I will be around in chat. I will be around on Instagram and Discord. Just feel free to DM me if you ever wanna just, talk about stuff or tag me in a server that we're mutually in and all that. Um, anyway, thank you so much for coming, and, I'll see y'all around. Have a good one. Bye, everybody.